The galaxy had known peace for centuries. The Galactic Federation, a coalition of planets and species, ensured harmony through diplomacy and mutual respect. The Federation's High Council, comprised of representatives from the most powerful civilizations, had successfully maintained this delicate balance. However, this peace was shattered when the Dracorians, a ruthless and technologically advanced alien race, launched an unprecedented invasion. Their warships, dark and menacing, moved from planet to planet, decimating populations, enslaving survivors, and plundering resources with merciless efficiency. On Earth, the news of the Dracorian invasion spread panic and fear. Governments mobilized their forces, but it was clear that humanity was ill-prepared for such an advanced adversary. The Dracorians struck without warning, their ships appearing in the skies above major cities in a coordinated attack. New York, Beijing, London, and Moscow fell within hours, their defenses crumbling under the superior firepower and tactics of the invaders. As the Dracorians descended upon Earth, cities burned, and millions perished. The Federation, already spread thin across the galaxy, could offer little assistance. Among the chaos, a small group of survivors took refuge in the mountains of Colorado. This group included a brilliant scientist named Dr. Ilara Watson, her husband, and their 5-year-old daughter, Lily. Dr. Watson had been working on a top-secret project for the Federation, a weapon that could potentially turn the tide against the Dracorians. The project, codenamed Project Nova, aimed to harness the energy of a star to create a weapon of unparalleled power. But with the invasion underway, the completion of the project seemed like a distant dream. The Watson family and a few other survivors found solace in an abandoned military bunker. They fortified their position and rationed their supplies, hoping to remain undetected. Every day, Dr. Watson worked tirelessly on her project, her makeshift lab filled with alien technology and Federation schematics. She knew that if she could complete the weapon, there might still be a chance to save Earth and the galaxy. Lily, despite the dire circumstances, brought a glimmer of hope to the group. Her laughter echoed through the bunker, a stark contrast to the horror outside. She played with makeshift toys and listened to stories her parents told her about a peaceful galaxy where different species coexisted in harmony. Her innocence was a reminder of what they were fighting to preserve. The Dracorians, relentless in their pursuit of complete domination, had deployed scout drones to scour the planet for any remaining pockets of resistance. One fateful night, a drone detected the faint energy signatures emanating from Dr. Watson's lab. Within hours, a squad of Dracorian soldiers descended upon the bunker. The survivors fought bravely, but they were no match for the Dracorians' advanced weaponry and combat prowess. In the chaos, the Dracorians captured Dr. Watson, hoping to extract the secrets of her research. They knew that Project Nova could pose a significant threat to their conquest. As the soldiers dragged her away, she screamed for her family, but her cries were drowned out by the sound of gunfire and explosions. In the melee, Lily was caught in the crossfire. A stray shot struck her, and she fell to the ground, her small body crumpling lifelessly. Her father, attempting to reach her, was struck down as well. The Dracorians, having secured their prize, left the ruins of the bunker, oblivious to the significance of what they had done. Dr. Watson, filled with unimaginable grief and rage, was taken aboard a Dracorian warship. Her captors were ruthless, using advanced interrogation techniques to pry information from her. But Dr. Watson, fueled by the memory of her daughter and husband, resisted with a fierce determination. She knew that completing Project Nova was the galaxy's last hope. Unbeknownst to the Dracorians, Lily's death triggered a series of events that would change the course of the galaxy. Deep within the ancient ruins of a forgotten civilization on Earth, a powerful entity stirred. This entity, known as the Guardian, had been dormant for millennia, bound by an oath to protect the innocent and uphold justice. The death of an innocent child, especially one as pure as Lily, broke the seal that kept the Guardian dormant. As the Dracorian warship carrying Dr. Watson left Earth's atmosphere, a faint, ethereal light began to glow in the depths of an ancient temple hidden in the Amazon rainforest. The Guardian, sensing the injustice and devastation wrought by the Dracorians, prepared to awaken from its long slumber. The galaxy's darkest hour was at hand, but so too was the dawn of its salvation. The ancient temple in the Amazon rainforest pulsed with a growing light, the guardian awakening from its millennia-long slumber. As the ethereal glow intensified, the temple's intricate carvings and ancient symbols began to shift and move, revealing the power and wisdom that had been sealed away. The guardian, a being of immense power, emerged from the temple, taking on a humanoid form. Its eyes glowed with a celestial light, and its presence radiated both serenity and terrifying power. The guardian, aware of the Dracorian invasion and the tragic death of Lily, understood the gravity of the situation. It was bound by an ancient oath to protect the innocent and uphold justice, and the murder of an innocent child had shattered the balance. The Guardian's first task was to understand the extent of the Dracorian threat and to seek allies who could aid in the fight against this merciless enemy. Meanwhile, on the Dracorian warship, Dr. Ilara Watson endured the relentless interrogation by her captors. Her grief for her daughter and husband fueled her determination to resist. The Dracorians sought the secrets of Project Nova, but Dr. Watson refused to break, knowing that the success of her work could be the key to saving the galaxy. In the darkness of her captivity, she clung to the memory of Lily, her innocent laughter, and the hope that the Guardian would bring justice. As the Guardian traveled across the galaxy, it visited planets and civilizations that had suffered under Dracorian tyranny. On the desert world of Iridian, it encountered Kethra, a warrior monk with unmatched combat skills and a deep sense of honor. Kethra had lost her entire clan to the Dracorians and had been fighting a guerrilla war ever since. The Guardian's arrival rekindled her hope, and she pledged her loyalty to the cause. On the aquatic planet of Oceania, the Guardian found Nevius, a brilliant strategist whose family had been enslaved by the Dracorians. Nevius had been leading a resistance movement, using his tactical genius to outmaneuver the enemy. The Guardian's message of justice resonated with him, and he eagerly joined the growing alliance. In the skies of the planet Varus, the Guardian encountered Jax, a skilled starfighter pilot. Jax had been a legend among the Varisians, known for his daring maneuvers and fearless attitude. After losing his squadron to the Dracorians, Jax had been waging a one-man war against their forces. The Guardian's presence inspired him, and he agreed to lend his talents to the fight. Together, the Guardian and its newfound allies formed a formidable resistance. They coordinated strikes against the Dracorian forces, targeting supply lines, communication hubs, and key military installations. Each victory, though hard-fought, weakened the Dracorian grip on the galaxy and inspired hope among the oppressed populations. Back on the Dracorian warship, Dr. Watson managed to outwit her captors. Using her scientific knowledge and quick thinking, she sabotaged the ship's systems and sent a distress signal to the Federation. The signal was intercepted by a small Federation task force led by Captain Arian, a seasoned officer who had been searching for any means to fight back against the Dracorians. Captain Arian, upon receiving Dr. Watson's signal, launched a daring rescue mission. With his skilled crew and advanced Federation technology, he managed to infiltrate the Dracorian warship and extract Dr. Watson. The mission was perilous, but their success reignited the Federation's resolve. Dr. Watson, now safely aboard the Federation ship, immediately began working to complete Project Nova. As the Guardian's resistance gained momentum, word spread throughout the galaxy. Species that had been too afraid to fight back now saw a glimmer of hope. Underground movements, previously fragmented and disorganized, united under the Guardian's banner. The galaxy, though scarred and battered, began to rally. The Guardian, Kethra, Nevius, and Jax became symbols of resistance. Their actions inspired countless others to join the fight. They orchestrated daring raids, liberated enslaved populations, and thwarted Dracorian offensives. Each victory, no matter how small, chipped away at the Dracorian's seemingly invincible facade. The final piece of the puzzle was Dr. Watson's completion of Project Nova. With the support of the Federation and the Guardian's resistance, she worked tirelessly to finish the weapon. The project required the energy of a star, a task that seemed impossible under normal circumstances. However, the Guardian, with its vast knowledge and ancient power, guided her in harnessing this immense energy. The stage was set for the final confrontation. The Guardian and its allies, now a cohesive force, prepared for an all-out assault on the Dracorian flagship, which hovered ominously above Earth. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and the Resistance knew that this battle would determine their future. The Guardian, embodying the hopes and dreams of countless beings, stood ready to lead the charge. As the Resistance forces gathered, a sense of unity and purpose permeated the ranks. The galaxy, once fractured and afraid, now stood united against the common enemy. The Guardian, with its allies by its side, prepared to unleash the full might of their combined strength. The final battle was imminent, and the galaxy held its breath, waiting for the reckoning that would determine its fate. The final confrontation loomed as the Guardian and its allies prepared for the decisive battle against the Dracorian armada. Above Earth, the Dracorian flagship, a colossal vessel bristling with advanced weaponry, cast a menacing shadow. Its destruction was the key to breaking the Dracorian hold on the galaxy. The Resistance forces, composed of ships from various species and civilizations, gathered in orbit, ready to make their stand. On the surface, Dr. Ilara Watson worked tirelessly in an underground bunker, finalizing Project Nova. The device, capable of harnessing the energy of a star, was Earth's last hope. Federation engineers and scientists, along with a contingent of Resistance fighters, assisted her. They knew the stakes were high. Failure was not an option. The Guardian, now fully aware of the importance of this battle, coordinated the strategy. Kethra, Nevius, and Jax each took command of different segments of the Resistance fleet. The plan was simple, yet daring. Engage the Dracorian forces in space to create a distraction, while Dr. Watson completed Project Nova. Once the weapon was ready, they would deliver it to the Dracorian flagship and unleash its devastating power. The battle began with a ferocity that shook the very fabric of space. Resistance fighters swarmed the Dracorian ships, engaging in dogfights and strafing runs. Jax led his squadron with unmatched skill, weaving through enemy fire and taking out Dracorian fighters with precision. Kethra, aboard a heavily armored cruiser, led the charge against the Dracorian capital ships, using her warrior prowess to inspire her crew. Nevius, from his command ship, orchestrated the overall strategy, making real-time adjustments to counter the Dracorian tactics. Despite their determination, the Resistance forces faced overwhelming odds. The Dracorians, desperate to maintain their dominance, fought back with ruthless efficiency. Explosions lit up the darkness of space, debris from destroyed ships forming a deadly obstacle course. Amidst the chaos, the Guardian moved with otherworldly grace, its power shielding allied ships and striking down Dracorian vessels with energy blasts. As the battle raged above, Dr. Watson completed Project Nova. The device, now fully operational, emitted a pulsating glow, signifying its readiness. Captain Arian, understanding the importance of the mission, prepared his ship for the most critical part of the plan, delivering Project Nova to the Dracorian flagship. The Guardian, sensing the completion of the weapon, descended to Earth to ensure its safe delivery. It entered the bunker, its presence filling the room with an aura of hope and determination. Dr. Watson handed over Project Nova, her eyes filled with both resolve and sorrow. She knew this weapon, born from her daughter's tragic death, was their only chance to save the galaxy. With Project Nova secured, Captain Arian's ship, escorted by the Guardian, ascended into the battle above. The Resistance forces, realizing the significance of this mission, intensified their efforts to clear a path. Jax, Kethra, and Nevius led their forces in a desperate push, drawing the Dracorian fire away from Arian's ship. The journey to the Dracorian flagship was fraught with danger. Dracorian fighters swarmed around Arian's ship, but the Guardian's presence shielded them from the worst of the attacks. As they approached the flagship, the Dracorian defenses intensified. Turrets and cannons fired relentlessly, but the Guardian, with its ancient power, neutralized the threats one by one. Finally, they reached the flagship, Captain Arian maneuvered his ship into position, ready to deploy Project Nova. The Guardian, using its immense strength, placed the device on the hull of the flagship, ensuring it was securely attached. With a final surge of energy, the Guardian activated Project Nova. A beam of pure concentrated energy shot into the sky, striking the Dracorian flagship with unparalleled force. The ship's shields buckled under the immense power, and its hull began to crack and shatter. The explosion that followed was blinding, a burst of light that could be seen from the surface of Earth. The destruction of the Dracorian flagship sent shockwaves through the Dracorian ranks. Their command structure shattered, and their forces fell into disarray. The Resistance, seizing the moment, pressed their advantage, driving the Dracorian ships into a full retreat. One by one, the remaining Dracorian vessels either fled or were destroyed. The remnants of their once mighty armada scattered. As the battle concluded, a sense of relief and victory washed over the galaxy. The Dracorian threat had been vanquished, and the galaxy was free from their tyranny. The Resistance forces, though battered and scarred, celebrated their hard-fought victory. The Guardian, having fulfilled its duty, prepared to return to its slumber. Dr. Watson, standing amidst the wreckage of the battlefield, felt a bittersweet sense of closure. The loss of her daughter and husband was a wound that would never fully heal, but their sacrifice had not been in vain. Project Nova, born from the darkest moments of her life, had become the beacon of hope for countless civilizations. The Guardian, before returning to its ancient temple, bestowed a final blessing upon the galaxy. It spoke to the leaders of the Resistance, its voice resonating with wisdom and power. The balance has been restored, but vigilance must be eternal. Protect the innocent, uphold justice, and remember the price of freedom. With that, the Guardian transformed back into a beam of light, disappearing into the temple. The galaxy, though scarred by war, began to heal. The Federation, now united by a common cause, worked tirelessly to rebuild and ensure that such tyranny would never again threaten the innocent. The legend of the Guardian and the brave souls who stood against the Dracorians was etched into the annals of galactic history. It became a tale of hope, courage, and the enduring spirit of those who fight for what is right. And thus, the galaxy moved forward, forever changed by the events that transpired, but stronger and more united than ever before.